It's a seed of my father.
Now I'm going to. Okay, but now
I am what my grandfather is. I am what my great grandfather is.
Every trait.
I am my grandfather, my ancestors passed on my seed. What are you saying?
Every trait that you mentioned has to do with strength. You said you jump higher, you run faster. You guys play the sports. Sports is basketball, football, all things that take strength and endurance. Okay,
watch this. Here is another one.
Hold on, and you're using that. Hold on. You're using that.
I'm giving you
to
a second one because
that makes you different.
Let me finish.
That makes a difference.
Watch this. Who invented most of the stuff over here? African American or Africans?
I'm just curious what any of this has to do with that being proven that you're Israel, because I'm going to show you a scripture.
I'm not saying I'm Israel. I'm just showing you that there's separation within the continent, within pheno and genotype, that we're not all the same, that we're ethnic groups, that not all groups mix. There was law against mixing with other African ethnic tribes.
Okay.
So I'm trying to show you the separation within the continent, that there's dark-skinned people, but they're different dark-skinned people.
Brother right here is in the Bible of the 25th dynasty, the Nubian brother named Taharka. Taharka, like many of the Nubian brothers, they had to many times come in and save Egypt from the invaders. At this time, this brother had to come and save his own African Hebrew brothers from the Assyrians, as it tells us in Kings in the Bible. And when he heard say of Taharka, king of Ethiopia, behold, he has come out to fight against thee. He sent messengers again to Ezekiel, saying, thus shall ye speak to Ezekiel, king of Judah, saying, let not thy God in whom thou truth deceive thee, saying, Jerusalem shall not be delivered into the hands of the Assyrians. So here we see Taharka saving his own African Hebrew brothers from annihilation of the Assyrians. He didn't wonder and say, well, they're Hebrews, I'm not going to save them. He saw that they were Africans, so he went out to save them. That's the account that we need to get back to today, because although we may be Muslims, although we may be Christians, we may be Hebrew, we're all Africans, and that's why they kill us, as Malcolm told us.
I'm not.
You're saying
so
that.
I don't want to interrupt you, King. Remember, I'm asking a question for education. I allow you to speak and go through your scriptures. And I'm just saying now, I want some kind of clarification, because I understand. I'm not disagreeing with you so far. I understand there is mixing what's going on. But you have to show me mixing where there was Caucasian or white people coming out in Exodus 2.
I'm not saying. I am not saying that they came out.
Because when I look at the hieroglyphs in that area, that continent, I don't see white people.
These were the African Hebrews that Taharka was saving around 650 BC, clearly showing what they looked like back then. Portraits of the black Judeans from the southern Canaan around 650 BC. So see, there's two Israel. There's the southern part, which is Judah. The northern part is Israel. That's why we're always in the South. South Philly, South Side Chicago, South Central LA. That's why we know there were black people here. All right? We're always in the South. Even Kemet, we came up out of the South. Tiny Hisi, the South. Goes back 26,000 years. So Judah was also in the South. Taharka let some of the Hebrews stay on this island right here. This is called Yeba Island, or Elephantine. This is how some of these brothers ended up into Ethiopia. He let them stay here to save them from annihilation from the Assyrians.
But what I'm trying to say is, I'm asking if you're trying to tell me that was Caucasian people building the pyramids or being slaves in Egypt. Is that what you're saying?
Okay. Who is Jacob's brother?
I understand. We went through that. I'm just
I would say it would not be far-fetched, because the scriptures does say that a mixed multitude came out also with Israel. Does not scripture say that?
And I agree with you on the scriptures that you were reading. But what I'm asking you is, was we mixing with the Caucasian? Was there people coming out
yes,
looking like you?
Yes.
There is no Europe at this juncture in history. We're talking about Western Asian people. At this juncture, what you call the Middle East, that I call Western Asia, was Northwest Africa. And this is documented in a book called When Egypt Ruled the East.
Israel is not on the continent of Africa?
No, it is not. No, it is not. And that is not. And that is not according to Scripture.
Israel is not on the continent of Africa?
No, it is not. No, it is not. And that is not. And that is not according to Scripture.
All of those Mediterranean mulattoes and Indo-Europeans who would drift down to this area later wasn't there at this time in history. We are not arguing about the color of that vast number of people, because the only semi-European people, and they were mixed, were the Romans and the Greeks. Now, after the Romans destroyed the last temple of the people of the Hebrew faith, 70 AD, now you got to watch it. You've got to study the migration patterns of the world. Where did those Western Asian people go? I see no migration pattern that took them into Europe. I do see a migration pattern that took a large number of them into inner West Africa, where a large number of people of the Hebrew faith lived in ancient Ghana, lived in peace.
About Caucasian not mixing, I agree there was mixing with other races because we've been through those captivity. But I'm asking about the Caucasian, a specific person or race or a skin color, if you want.
Yes, there was light-skinned people in Egypt during the Exodus time.
When you said light skin, did you say like your color skin, or would I say somebody
white.
like a mulatto?
Yes, you can have. Yes,
Okay,
there were also. Yes, there was also white and other races there.
Here comes Canaan. Let me just give you a little piece, then I'm going to get back to the reading piece. Because I tell you, I'm going to take a little time, if y'all don't mind. There's a people that live in Ghana. They live in the capital city called Accra. These people call themselves Ga Adangbe, Ga Ablade. They said that they are the Canaanites. And they got ran out of their land by some folks called the Israelites. Ain't that deep? Because we got folks running out there and they're black Israelites. Well, now these black folks say they're the Canaanites. Now when you read the Bible, their text, the Torah, it tells you the Canaanites were black people. And here these black folks that say that they sojourn out of there when this invasion comes. So then you must then raise a fundamental question, then who was the Hebrew Israelites? And are they who we think we are?
In early history, it wasn't belong to the Arabs either.
Right.
It was an African country. The Arabs didn't get there in any appreciable number till about 1600 AD.